So today we've got a buddy joining us from Belgium who's just arrived, and I think he's with us any moment now. Here he is! Welcome to sunny Valencia.
Thank you. Thank you.
So we've just picked up Tuin and we're slowly putting out of here. Tuin's chariot has arrived and he's sitting at the front of the dinghy like a prince.
Hi, I'm Laure. And this is Luke. After years of the city life, we decided to take the path less traveled and live upon the waves. So we did it. We bought a tiny floating home, Talia.
Join us as we discover the Med, push our limits and learn how to sail in the process. That's right, we're only just getting started. So make sure you hit that subscribe button and follow us as we transition to life on the sea.
Hello everyone! So today we are visiting Valencia. It's a day off the boat because at some point I think we need it. And look where we are. I couldn't tell you exactly, but it's a pretty nice place with a fountain just behind me. Now we're just visiting, chilling, just having fun.
We couldn't have a guest aboard without showing him the beautiful city of Valencia. So we started the day at a favorite breakfast place in town, Libre. This is a very good restaurant when you're looking for healthy options, and acai bowls are definitely the best. We wandered in the historical city. It has countless charming alleyways, a lovely cathedral, and the most important, the authentic Spanish flair. Not to mention that it is Spain's third largest city.
Hey, so Luke is in the city center right now. He went to a 3D printer store because he actually needs a key that we don't have so far, but it's a key to open the diesel entry. I don't know the name, I'm so sorry. But basically this is a hole that we have on the port side of the boat, and it allows you to pour some diesel in it, and unfortunately we don't have the key, so he went over there to try to make that key. I hope it'll work. And meanwhile I've decided to read this afternoon, and I'm reading the VHF handbook because Luke has his license, his VHF license, and I don't. And you know, I thought, okay, that's good, but I should know about it. I find it very interesting actually. Well, the beginning is really technical about antennas and how radio works, and you know, it might be very useful to know all these things if something happens. Also, I already know the phonetic alphabet, so I'm pretty proud. I'm like, my motto here is one step at a time. So with me it's baby steps, but at least I learn every day.
When buying a second-hand boat, one of the biggest issues is you often find that you've moved on board and there's a bunch of things that are either broken, missing, or in pretty desperate need of being fixed. One of the things we found when we first moved on board was that the key to unlock the diesel tank on the deck was actually missing. So I reached out to the Beneteau community on Facebook, and the most common response was, get a winch handle. Now, the issue with the winch handle is it is a 8-point star on a winch handle. The lock for the diesel cap on the deck is a 6-pointed star, so that wouldn't work. So amongst the different responses that we got, the one that really jumped out to me was a 3D printer. These days you can 3D print anything. Sounded a little bit avant-garde, but worth a try, so I said why not. We got a prototype whipped up by a guy here in Valencia and we gave it a try, so it fit the diesel tank. Now today we've got the final product. So as you can see here, it is a very small 6-pointed star as the key itself. Let's give it a try. Yay! It works! I can't believe this actually works. Even though we were still in the process of setting Talia up for cruising, we couldn't let Tuin leave without taking him for a sail. We managed to get Talia up to almost 7 knots. While the speed was fun, the heeling took Tuin by surprise. If you watch carefully, you'll see he keeps a tight hold on one of the lines at all times. A boat's biggest insurance policy is its anchor. We didn't want to go too cheap with the anchor. We wanted something that's going to be tough and reliable and something that resets pretty easily when the winds change. So we decided to make the investment, and today's our lucky day because my new toy has arrived.
So Luke got a new anchor for the boat. It is a Mantis anchor and it's very famous because it has the ability to reset when the wind changes. So he's gonna build it right now because obviously it's a bit too technical for me. He's kind of good with his hand. He starts to be like a real handyman.
So the first step is you need to insert the bolts from the bottom of the fluke. The fluke is this big tray-like piece of the anchor. And then once the bolts are through, you've got to lubricate them and then you've got to attach the nuts. It's a strange consistency, this. It's like grease. This stuff is gross. There is very little glamour in boat life. It's not all tropical islands and cocktails. More often than not, it's greasy hands and oily faces. 2 is assembling the fluke and the shank. So this is the shank here, and tightening the bolts and these little lock washers on the top. Now we're in business. Feeling really handy. Step 3 is lubricating the roll bar bolts, and much like the other steps, just securing it in place.
New anchor versus old anchor. Big difference.
Removing the lighter old anchor from the bow was a simple lift over the pulpit. Placing the new 25 kg Mantis, however, would have been back-breaking work if it wasn't for the mechanical advantage of the spinnaker halyard. A simple bowline knot in the shank of the anchor, Laure on the winch, and me to position it made it simple work. albeit a little precarious.
It's been 3 or 4 days now that we can't really go sailing because we have a problem with the headsail, and the rigger came this morning. He had trouble actually to fix it, and so apparently somebody's gonna come tomorrow. Meanwhile, since we're stuck here at La Marina, Luke is installing the courtesy flag, the Spanish one obviously, because we are still in Valencia. So at least we are gonna try to have a productive day.
Since moving aboard, a reoccurring problem that we've been experiencing here is something called halyard wrap. At first it was just the headsail was very tight to unfurl or to furl back up again. Progressively it got worse and worse and worse, and we got to a point where we just couldn't unfurl the sail anymore. So halyard wrap occurs when there isn't a great enough angle between the jib halyard and the forestay. So a halyard restrainer or a halyard deflector is a great way to create a bigger angle so that that wrapping around the forestay doesn't occur. So today what we're going to do is install a... There's a lot of noise here. So today what we're going to do is install a halyard restrainer, which is going to create a bigger angle, which means we're no longer going to have this wrapping around the headsail. People say that when you live on a boat you become acutely aware of the weather. No shit. Okay, so it's sunny, but it's pouring rain. I'm confused and excited at the same time. Here in Valencia, the prevailing wind comes from the east in summer. It especially picks up around midday. Now, today's a bit of an unusual day. During the morning, the wind has been coming from the west the entire morning. It's kind of a great opportunity for us to test out for the first time our Mantis anchor in the anchorage just outside the harbour here. Rather than the wind pushing us onto shore as it usually would, it's going to push us out to sea. So let's give it a try.
So the anchor is supposed to be just over there. So let's see how it goes.
Since anchoring was a big success, we decided to stay there for a couple of hours and have a first dip in the water.
While we've been in Valencia longer than anticipated, this has been a really handy spot to acclimatise to life on board and get Talia up to shape for long-term cruising. We're so close now to casting the lines and heading out into the wide blue yonder. Join us next week as we make the final touches for living off-grid. Thanks for watching!